In the year 2540, or what the people of this future called the year of our Ford 632, the world has been transformed into a carefully engineered global state. Individuality, passion, and freedom have been sacrificed for the sake of stability, happiness, and control. This is Aldous Huxley's Brave New World, a vision of a future so ordered and efficient that it feels disturbingly real and terrifyingly close. The story begins in London, inside the Central London Hatchery and Conditioning Center, where human life is no longer born, but manufactured. Scientists fertilize eggs in test tubes, control their growth, and determine every person's destiny before birth. From one fertilized egg, they can create dozens of identical human beings, a process called Bokanovsky's process, ensuring a constant supply of workers perfectly suited to their caste. Society is divided into rigid castes. Alphas, the intellectual elite, tall, beautiful, intelligent, and confident. Betas, slightly lower but still privileged, performing administrative and skilled tasks. Gammas, deltas, and epsilons, each genetically and psychologically designed to accept their place as laborers and servants. From infancy, each person is conditioned for obedience. Babies are exposed to electric shocks and loud alarms when they crawl toward books or flowers, teaching them what to love and what to fear. Hypnoptic slogans, sleep-teaching mantras, are whispered night after night. Everyone belongs to everyone else. Ending is better than mending. A gram is better than a dam. This conditioning ensures that nobody questions their place, their work, or their pleasures. The result is a society without pain, but also without meaning. We meet Leneni Crown, a beta technician, and Bernard Marx, an alpha who feels different. Bernard is smaller, less confident, and often alienated by the shallow pleasures around him. People mock him for preferring solitude and for disliking soma, the state-sanctioned drug that erases all sadness and doubt. Soma is the perfect escape. A single pill provides instant happiness, a holiday from reality, without hangovers, without consequences. The people of the world state never face pain, loss, or love. They medicate away every emotion that could disrupt social order. Bernard's discomfort grows as he observes the emptiness around him. Leneni, beautiful and carefree, is perfectly conditioned. She finds his unease strange, but is drawn to him nonetheless. Together, they plan a trip to the Savage Reservation, one of the few places left where people still live naturally, without the control of the world state. The reservation is shocking. There are old people, disease, religion, and families, things unthinkable to the citizens of the New World. There they meet John, a young man born to a woman from the world state, Linda, who was stranded there years ago. John, known to the locals as the Savage, grew up reading only one book, the complete works of William Shakespeare. His world is shaped by Shakespeare's language of passion, honor, and tragedy, ideals utterly alien to the sterile happiness of the modern world. Bernard realizes John could be useful. He brings John and Linda back to London as living curiosities. The world state is fascinated. A man born naturally, quoting Shakespeare, feeling love and anger, daring to use words like mother and father, words long forbidden. At first, John is a sensation. The upper castes treat him like a celebrity. But soon, his horror grows. He sees how shallow and mechanical this society truly is, how people live without passion, without struggle, without soul. He falls in love with Leneni, but his idealized notions of love clash with her conditioning. When she approaches him casually for sex, he recoils in disgust, quoting Shakespeare's fury at lust and betrayal. To her, his refusal makes no sense. To him, her behavior is desecration. Meanwhile, Bernard tastes popularity for the first time. showing John off to his peers. But the attention is fleeting. When the novelty fades, Bernard is humiliated, and his insecurities deepen. His friend Helmholtz Watson, another alpha intellectual, sympathizes. Helmholtz also feels alienated, a gifted writer trapped in a world where art and deep thought are meaningless. Linda, meanwhile, returns to her old habits, overdosing on soma until she slips into a euphoric death. John's grief and rage explode. At the hospital, he watches emotionless nurses and cheerful attendants treat death as nothing. Even children are conditioned to view it as a natural and unimportant event. For John, this is unbearable. In anguish, he tries to awaken the workers, urging them to revolt, to throw away their soma, to be free. He cries out, "Don't you see what they're doing to you? Don't you see what you've become?" But his call to freedom ends in chaos. The workers panic, and authorities quickly subdue the disturbance, not with violence, but with soma vapors and soothing voices. The rebellion melts into laughter and sedation. Bernard, Helmholtz, and John are arrested. They are brought before Mustafa Mond, one of the world controllers, who explains the logic of the system. Mond was once a scientist, a man of curiosity and intellect, but he sacrificed truth for stability. He explains why the world cannot afford freedom, or God, or love. Such things cause pain, uncertainty, and instability. He says, people are happy. They get what they want and never want what they can't get. He shows them banned books, including the Bible and Shakespeare, kept locked away as dangerous relics. Mond admits he's read them, but they're forbidden because they make people think, dream, and suffer, things the state cannot allow. Helmholtz laughs, accepting exile to the Falkland Islands, where other freethinkers live. Bernard panics, but is sent away too. John asks to go with them, but is instead given permission to live alone outside the city. He retreats to an abandoned lighthouse, hoping to purify himself. There he prays, fasts, and punishes himself for his sins and desires, trying to cleanse the corruption of the modern world. But people find him again. Crowds come to watch him, to record him, to turn his suffering into entertainment. Leneni appears, and John, overwhelmed by guilt, shame, and confusion, lashes out. The next morning, the crowd returns to find the lighthouse silent. John has taken his life. Huxley's Brave New World is not a world of dictatorship and fear, but of pleasure and control through comfort. The people are not enslaved by force, they are enslaved by their desires. They choose their chains because they have forgotten what freedom feels like. It's a world without war, without poverty, without hunger, but also without art, faith, or love. The price of peace is the death of the soul. The novel asks haunting questions. Is happiness worth the loss of freedom? Can we be truly human without suffering? What happens when convenience replaces meaning? In the end, John represents what's left of humanity's spirit, passionate, flawed, desperate for truth, destroyed by a world that no longer has room for him. Huxley wrote Brave New World in 1932, but his vision still echoes today, in our consumer culture, in our addiction to comfort, in our fear of discomfort or boredom. It's not a story of the future, it's a mirror held up to the present.